With just over 24 hours to go until the NBA trade deadline, we ask you, will the Dallas Mavericks make a trade? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I believe 7 years in a row, the Mavs have made at least one move
That's right.
at the NBA trade deadline. So let us know what you guys think, yes or no. You got Harrison Graham and Jeffrey Cooperstein here. Let's get into the latest Mavericks trade rumors. Isaiah Stewart. Is he an option for the Mavericks, Coop, the big from Detroit?
Yeah, Marc Stein reported that the Mavs still retain interest in Isaiah Stewart. Now, the catch is Stewart, like Josh Green, signed an extension before the season started, so he's on that poison pill, so to speak. So it makes a trade somewhat difficult. He signed a 4-year, $60 million deal, but he's a guy that I think the Mavericks could use. Now, he's a little bit of an undersized big man. He's just 6'8". But what he does really well is he rebounds the hell out of the ball for the amount of minutes he plays, and he's also a very physical presence there in the paint.
He's become a better three-point shooter, too, which I like as well. He's at least a threat from out there. I don't think he's one of these bigs that's going to take 5 per game or something like that. But he has extended his game to the three-point line, which is very important for modern bigs, unless you're just absolutely dominant in the paint. We mentioned the contract that he signed, so...
Are you, and you have to ask yourself, are you paying $15 million a year for your backup center? Because
and with those escalators, too, with the poison pill.
You can look at it in the way Derek Lively will be on his rookie deal for the next 4 years, so it really doesn't matter in that aspect. But, yeah, with those escalators, with the poison pill that you would have to execute in a trade, it does make a deal rather difficult for him.
Yeah, I mean, I like Isaiah Stewart. You could talk me into an Isaiah Stewart trade. I don't know if I'd have him at the top of my wish list here. Like, I know he's improved as a shooter, but he's not. That's not really what he's known for. He's kind of a tweener. Like, he's not athletic enough to be like a great 4, but he's not big enough to be a 5. I don't know. I mean, like, is he better than Grant Williams? Probably, but like, is he way better?
Probably, yeah, exactly. Giving up assets for a guy who's maybe marginally better than a Grant Williams, I'm not a huge fan of. So I cooked up a couple of trade ideas, and I'm not in love with both of them, honestly. This is kind of just what the matches would be. Richaun Holmes, Markieff, and a second. I don't think that's enough to get Isaiah Stewart, because I think the Pistons will be looking for more than that, considering his contract situation. And then the second one was Maxi Kleber in 2 seconds, and I don't think that the Mavericks would do this kind of trade.
Yeah, I mean, Maxi's playing better. I'm just conflicted. Like, I would definitely do that first trade. Now, I don't think Detroit would.
Exactly.
I might still do this one because, you know, I don't want to say it's fool's gold with Maxi with how he's playing, but we know this is kind of what happens.
For sure.
He goes on these little heaters, then an injury pops up, or he stops shooting with confidence. So I might be willing to ditch the 2 seconds to go younger at that position, even though it's a completely different type of player in Isaiah Stewart. But you know, it's not like an inspiring trade either. Would I do it? Yes. Would I think it's like some massive, you know, season-changing move? Not really. Like, does it help you beyond this year more than Kleber does? Probably. He's younger. You would hope there's still some ascension there where, you know, with Maxi, that's probably not the case. Now, what is your level of interest in Isaiah Stewart? Scale from 1 to 10? Like a 5 or 6. I'm not uninterested, Coop, but again, there's other guys I would be much more interested in.
Yeah, it's not a move that I think makes or breaks the Mavs. I think 5 or 6 is pretty apt. If the poison pill wasn't in there, it would be a little more than that. It just makes it really difficult to make a deal with him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Scale from 1 to 10. Let us know what you guys think. And hit that subscribe button because the trade deadline is here. We got you covered wall to wall the next 24, 48 hours, so don't miss out on that. But we're here all year round. It's not like we disappear like other channels do. News, rumors, game analysis. Once the trade deadline and really the All-Star break coming past, then it's kind of the final push
for
postseason play. So hopefully make the playoffs, get to do some postseason watch parties. It'll be a lot of fun. So hit that sub button. We're not going anywhere. Hopefully you guys don't go anywhere as well. Spread the word. Okay, Marc Stein, Coop, saying the Mavs are active. They're trying. He also reported that they've been linked a lot to Andrew Wiggins. Now, this is a bit of a shift from yesterday. He had an update on Wiggins saying there hasn't been talks. Now, he's not necessarily saying there's talks that have taken place.
But he's saying they've just been linked.
Saying they've been linked. So it's hard to know, you know, does that mean they're going to pursue talks? Does that mean that, like, one side has contacted the other, but there hasn't been response. It's hard to know, but maybe that intensifies in the next 12 to 18 hours as we get closer and closer to this thing.
And the more that time has gone on, I really have an interest in Andrew Wiggins because I think if he can just return, if he can return to that player he was during that Warriors championship run, the Mavs have an absolute gem in him, and I don't think it would take a lot of assets to give up Andrew Wiggins. I've kind of shifted my stance on this a little bit. I think if the Warriors asked for Tim Hardaway Jr., I think I would do it. Without giving up any picks, if you're getting Wiggins in return, I think I would end up doing this deal. You could slide Wiggins into the starting lineup. That means you're bringing, when he becomes healthy, you would bring Dante Exum off the bench, as well as Derek Jones. And I think that Wiggins is a guy, if he could be that two-way defender and scorer that we've seen him be, he would be a huge help to this team.
Yeah, I mean, look, this would be a calculated projection because I don't think there's any question Tim Hardaway Jr. has had a better season this year than Andrew Wiggins. But we also know how hot and cold Tim is. We know Wiggins is a better defender, and he's 4 years younger.
Yep.
Right? Like, I think that matters. Now, Tim's contract, he's off the books after next year, so you could make a counter argument and say, well, you could stay the course, move Tim this offseason. Worst case, that's a pretty easy contract to trade, final year of a deal, if you wanted to go that route. But, again, if you hit here on Wiggins, then you have a couple more years of team control. He's a fringe all-star type when fully right.
He's right around $25 million a season, so it's not a ridiculous contract he's on.
Yeah, I mean, you think of Luka, Kyrie, Wiggins, and Lively as kind of your core four, and then just role players around them. It's intriguing. There's no doubt about it. I think he's better than what we've seen this season. Can he get back to what he was a couple years ago? I don't want to say no. He's only 28, turns 29 next month, so it's not like he should be in the twilight of his career.
Exactly.
Even though it seems like he's been around a while. So
he's played a lot of basketball in his career, and maybe the minutes are kind of catching up to him, and it's taking a toll on him as well. A little bit of a diminished role there in Golden State, but I think the Mavericks could get the best out of Wiggins and return him to a borderline all-star.
So what do you guys think? Would you do this deal, Wiggins for Hardaway and Holmes, type T for trade or P for pass? I think I'm with you. I think I'd do it. I'd be a little weary because I do think Tim has been a good player this year.
He's been good. He's been cold lately, but that doesn't really change that stance that he's been very good this year.
Yeah, I don't I'll put it this way. I don't think like a 10-day stretch of him being cold is why I'm like,
exactly.
Oh yeah, make this move all of a
no
sudden.
Doubt.
Like, I think it's more of an upside, younger type of play. I mean, that's what you're going for. So let us know. T for trade, P for pass. We'll get to more trade buzz in a second. All right, let's talk about PrizePicks. Keep telling you guys about Super Bowl Sunday. PrizePicks is just the app you're going to want to download. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS to get a $100 deposit match because it's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You create your account, use the promo code to get that deposit match. Then you start firing away. 2 to 6 player entries. They give you stat projections. You just take more or less. You're not playing other players within the app, pros, sharks. It's just you versus the stat projections. And if you hit on those entries, you can cash out. 6 player entries, you can win up to 25 times your money. So get fired away right now before Super Bowl Sunday. You can kind of test the waters with some NBA, college basketball picks between now and then as well. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. And also what they're doing for the Super Bowl is you can tail celebrities' picks.
Yes.
They've got those. They're showing those in the app. I mean, how fun is that? Go check it out. Link is in the comments and in the description to download today. All right, we got to call out the Charlotte Hornets, who are just a fraudulent franchise. If we're
what are
being
you
completely
talking
honest.
about?
Marc Stein says the Hornets want Josh Green and a first-round pick for P.J. Washington. Now, I think you and I agreed that a 1-for-1 we would probably do, although Green has been playing pretty well as of late. But a first as well? No way.
I know Mitch Kupchak used to be the GM of the Lakers, and he's used to getting whatever he wants. Get real, Mitch. This ain't happening. We're not giving you a first and Josh Green. Get out of here.
Take a stroll down the pier in Charlotte because that
seriously.
trade's not happening.
Yeah, buddy. We're not giving you Josh Green, who is playing the best basketball of his career right now, and another first for P.J. Washington, who good player, but are the Mavs getting up their only tradable first plus another asset for him?
My thing with P.J. Washington, too, is like, and you know, I questioned this with Josh Green, and I would say recently he's proven me wrong. Like, is P.J. Washington ever going to be more than what he is?
Yeah, I don't
seriously,
know.
I don't think Josh Green, and I will stand on this. I know he's playing really well right now. That's great for the Mavs. I don't think he's ever going to be an all-star. I
No,
don't
he
think
won't
PJ
be.
Washington is either, though. So the point is like, if they're kind of in the same tier of player, even if PJ Washington is higher in that tier, I'm not giving a first up as well to make that happen.
No chance.
Like-
Yeah, there are many trades where I would give up the first-round pick if I were the Mavs. This is not one of those trades.
No.
I just wouldn't do it. And I don't think there really is a trade at this deadline that will be available to the Mavs that they will give up their first-round pick
Unless
for.
Washington lowers their price a little bit.
If they soften their stance, or if, God forbid, the Trailblazers soften their stance on Jeremy Grant, those are guys you would give up your first for. But for PJ Washington, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
just not doing it.
Yeah, I'm completely with you here. So pick a player. Who would you most like to have? Type 1 for Isaiah Stewart, 2 for Andrew Wiggins, or 3 for PJ Washington. I would go Wiggins here. Wiggins is my first option. Stewart is my second, and then Washington third, if that is the price from Charlotte. Because if it is, sayonara. We're not making that deal.
I'm probably going 2 for Wiggins as well. I really like the player, like I said, and I think he could be a huge asset to the Mavs going forward. It's just a matter of whether Golden State's willing to give up on Wiggins, and there's kind of conflicting reports on that. So we'll see in right around 24 hours from now what happens.
It's going to be fascinating. Make sure you're subscribed. You keep it tapped in. We'll have you covered here on Mavericks Today if any big moves go down. See ya.